In the past 30 days, I've brought this e-commerce store to well over $10,000 per day using only TikTok ads. Now, I think I've only said this once in my YouTube career, which is this is a video you need to watch all the way through because it's basically going to serve as a mini course, giving you a framework for any sort of e-commerce business if you want to run TikTok ads the right way. I'm currently spending about $200,000 a month between two of my main brands, and I've been doing that for a while. So if you want the full breakdown at scale, a level that most people who teach on YouTube are not at themselves, this is going to give you some of those strategies and a little bit of insight into the ad account. I'm going to actually show you inside of it. Now, if you stick through this video, I'm also going to give you 2 winning products and all the targeting for it, the pricing options, the sourcing costs, the offer style, everything that you can do to launch it today. But first, a quick story. My TikTok ad account was hacked. Somehow we're still trying to work it out with TikTok. Somebody scheduled $100,000 per day worth of ads to run to their store, some separate random Chinese store selling a t-shirt. I know. Now, it's a little weird to say, but thankfully it only spent $42,000. It could have been much worse. And that was in a 6-hour block where, surprise, surprise, I wasn't at my computer. I don't know what I was thinking golfing on a Thursday, but it costed me 42 grand. So I've definitely got a crazy story coming for that once it's resolved, but that's not going to stop me from moving forward in the meantime. So before we jump in and screen record through here, I just want to let you know about the giveaway we do in every video. All you got to do is like, subscribe, and comment below. Get entered to win a free e-commerce course, a free custom built Shopify store, as well as some cash in every single video. Let's jump in. So again, this is one of those must-watch videos. I'm not saying that as clickbait or some weird stuff. This is just so much value. It took me a long time to put this together, so please drop a like below. And a pro tip, play this at 1.5x speed or 1.75. I know I talk fast, but I listen to all my stuff on a faster pace. All right, so my ad just on this one main brand, this is the one that got hacked, spending about $5,000 per day. This ad account is 47% roughly under tracking, so about half. So for an example, if you see a cost per purchase for $36, in reality, it's about 18 because half of that. So everything is doubled, and that's just because of some mistracking issues. We got a lot of different stuff running here. There's a lot of money scheduled to be spent. It just depends on what's going on. This is kind of like the last week timeline that you're looking at here with probably $20-something thousand spent. Now, to give you a visual on top of that, I know I already showed you, this is the month so far. Built it from, it's like $1,500 a day, kind of hanging out towards the end of last month, and now it's consistently over $10,000, really between $10,000 and $13,000 a day. It hasn't been below about $12,000 in the last week, so that's great. We'll ship over 4,000 orders this month and probably about 10,000 next month at least. That's assuming no scale, and I'm continuing to scale, so I'd like to see this at about $20,000 a day by the end of next month. And again, that's only using TikTok ads with the exact strategies that we teach inside of our TikTok ad blueprint, which you can find linked below. The test group for that just opened up. Depending on when you watch this, it might be closed, but we'll be opening to the public shortly. So here's 3 things you absolutely need if you want to start this, and I'm just going to give them to you in this video. Okay, number 1 is having the right product. I'm going to give you 2 full examples, breakdowns of everything. The right ad strategy. This is my favorite topic, so we're going to talk about it. Again, our TikTok ad blueprint just opened. Absolutely epic. The feedback's been incredible so far. Thank you to everybody in the test group. Number 3, the framework for your mind. This is arguably more important because it is the groundwork that you have to lay. It sounds a little cliche, but oh my gosh, this will make the world of difference once you nail this down. And again, more to come at the end of this video. I will talk about that in the last slide. Product number 1. This thing is so cool for a lot of reasons. I'm going to talk about the pricing. That's why I really like it, but it's a digital lock and it looks like a normal door handle. Most locks that go on like a bedroom door or something, they're all big and bulky and they got like a keypad and stuff. This, you slide your thumb across the digital screen and the numbers appear, or you can use the thumbprint. So super cool. It's unique like that. It's a little more modern, and it's one of those things that you can absolutely crush it with. Sourcing cost. This would be the ideal price to fulfill the product. $35, maybe $40. Obviously, once you're doing volume, you're going to discount that. And obviously, once you're ordering inventory, you're going to get an even bigger discount. So there's a lot of things you can do to source this the right way. There's probably so many suppliers for this. Target sale price is going to be $99. The reason we chose that is because multiple e-commerce stores that are getting a lot of traffic driven to their site are selling it for $119, $129, and Amazon is about $89 to $99 depending on which listing you're looking at. So it's one of those things where that's like kind of in the sweet spot right in the middle of everything that's being sold. However, just because we want to sell it at $99 doesn't mean we're going to start there. So the starting sale price, we're going to put it at $79. This is exactly what I would do if I was selling this product today. Started a little bit lower. The reason for that, and I'm going to give you the targeting options in a moment over here, but the reason we started a little bit lower, it just helps you optimize for a cheaper cost per purchase, and it's a lower barrier to entry when you're testing the product, right? If people aren't going to buy it at $79, they're probably not going to buy it at $99. So test it lower. It'll actually cost you less money to test the product that way. Now, a possible offer structure. This is how you could pitch the product when you are running ads. Buy one, get one 20% off. People can easily easily buy multiple of these, and it's a stupidly high average order value. That AOV, that's like the most important metric when it comes to your ads. The higher your average order value, the easier it's gonna make running ads with all these ad strategies that I'm about to show you. So make sure to stick through this video. But this is such a cool quantity break is what that's called. You're giving someone a discount, very frequent in this marketplace, very easy to do, and a lot of people are gonna take it. So that would put your average order value instantly up to like 150 without any other upsells and stuff. So really, really cool. Now, targeting options, very broad here on TikTok. You want a lot of people inside that audience. If you find an interest and it's too small, let's say it's not over 10 million, you're just gonna expand that interest. And I'm gonna show you that here in a moment. So home decor, that fits in perfectly with this. Home improvement fits in perfectly. These are two interests that I would individually select, making sure that they are very broad audiences with tens of millions of people at least. I would also run some no targeting. I would also find multiple other interests. We're gonna talk more about that structure in a moment, but first, let me give you a second winning product that's working so well. This one I've talked about before because I've actually sold it. I sold this product super successfully over on Facebook about 2.5 years ago, and it's called a dual arc electric lighter. Imagine a lighter, you can light whatever you want with it, right?
I take a big hit. Fluffy going puffy today.
But it doesn't take butane. It doesn't run out. There's no need to refill it. Yes, you have to recharge it, of course, but that battery life lasts so long because how long are you really lighting something for? To start a fire doesn't take very long. Also, by the way, this whole plasma thing, very difficult to start a fire with. It'll light something, but it's not just like a big flame, so it's actually a safety thing as well. Now, very unique product, and it gets a lot of organic engagement. Even on Facebook, this was blowing up. I also, through my broker that's gonna help sell one of my e-commerce brands, there was actually somebody who sold this product exclusively on TikTok. They just sold their store, wasn't even a brand, for $900,000. So there's definitely a marketplace for it. I don't think it's been tapped. Great product. Let's talk about the pricing and the offer and everything else, okay? Sourcing cost. I was sourcing it for cheaper than this, $8. Pretty easy target. Let's say keep it under 10. Again, you kind of want that 3x bump on a cheaper product to fulfill. So if you're selling it for, or let's say if you're buying it for 8, you're gonna wanna sell it for 24 or above. Our target sale price, I was selling it at this successfully, $29.99. Also, we're gonna start it a little bit lower. Same strategy here, it applies on anything we're testing, right? So maybe start it at 22, 23, 24. Now, possible offer, really easy. I do a lot of these, 50% off, 40% off. Where I say that, hey, it's normally 55, today you can get it for 22. Boom, very simple discount. It's a very basic low-hanging fruit offer that you can start with. Not a lot of effort, right? Low effort there. Now, TikTok targeting is a little more difficult for this because you can't really advertise. By the way, be careful with your ads if you're gonna run this product. You can't advertise somebody smoking anything, cigarette, doesn't matter. You can't do that. So you gotta be careful, and I know they're gonna watch you if you're targeting this stuff. So just keep it in line. With lighter, that's a very small interest. And by the way, this is way too small for TikTok. However, you can expand the interest below that. This will instantly jump to 130 million. Well, then you're like, well, Hayden, you're not actually targeting lighter. Correct. You're targeting everybody, but you're giving TikTok a framework of who to build on. And that is going to be lighter, the people over here that are interested in this. So it's like, it's kind of a guide, but still leaving it very broad, which TikTok loves. Now, number 2, lighter fluid. Again, very micro specific. You'll have to expand this interest, but it can work. It's just something broad. You could also do outdoors and nature and hiking. There's a lot of things that are kind of one step removed from that you could try. So test those out. Those are some easy products. Now, if you need good video ads, this is something that's really important for testing on TikTok because what's called the turn rate. The turn rate on TikTok is so fast. Videos don't seem to stay optimized for a long period of time. So you're gonna constantly need good video ads. As you know, I've used viral e-com ads for a little over 2.5 years. I definitely recommend them, especially for TikTok. They've been helping out here on the channel as well as in our e-commerce course for a long time, showing a lot of love to everybody. You can get a huge discount with this code down below. But if you're trying to run TikTok ads, go with their UGC TikTok split testing package. They're moving more off of Facebook and into TikTok since that's what a lot of the people that are ordering their product have been crushing it with. So they're getting really, really good at making TikTok. So it's something that just, it saves you all the time from having to do it, and it's way cheaper than anything else. So again, you can find that linked below. Use the coupon code BULLSUGC. You can save, I think, 20%. So appreciate you guys at Viral Ecom Ads. Let's continue on. Here's how I manage my stores and I manage my ads on a daily basis when you're spending 6 figures, you know, 200,000, 300,000. I'm hoping to spend more every single month just on TikTok. We're not talking about Facebook. We're not talking about Google, just spending that consistent amount of money, okay? So this is kind of what a basic framework's gonna look like. I have a couple of CBOs that haven't worked as well for me on TikTok as Facebook. Facebook, I'll have, you know, let's say an ad account is spending 50,000 a day over there. 35,000, maybe 40,000 of that at least is CBOs, multiple of them, but still, that's not the same over on TikTok. I definitely have a lot more ad spend that's a daily ad set budget. So as you can see, most of the spend is concentrated over here in two of these campaigns, where yesterday alone, this ad account probably spent $7,500 to do 14,000 in sales, give or take, 13,800. So almost a 2 ROAS there, a lot of testing going on, these costs shot up, but also these are two new CBOs, so the costs are a little more expensive. This is the first day that they were running. So continuing to keep everything rocking and rolling here, these are all different ad set budgets. And what I'm doing on a daily basis is minor adjustments. So if something's been working well for 3 days, 4 days, raise the budget slightly. Lower the budget slightly if it's not doing well, or raise it. It literally doesn't matter. TikTok doesn't have a perfectly defined learning phase, so you can adjust your budgets basically with any free will. You can do whatever you want, but that's gonna help re-optimize it just a little bit. It'll start changing your results. So if you're getting a result that you don't like, on any other platform, I'm gonna tell you to turn it off. But on TikTok, just adjust something. Change the budget. If you're running a cost cap, change what that cost cap is. Raise it. Do different things like that. That's really what my management is every single day. It's like tinkering with small ads. It's going in and adjusting budgets. I might launch a couple new things, but I really just like to build off the budgets on the stuff that are already working, and it's a really easy way to just keep things optimized. And keep in mind, this ad account is under tracking by about 50%, so these were still $30 cost per purchases, which, while stupidly expensive on an AOV of 44, give or take, for the day, it's just one of those things with that fluctuation. It still wasn't losing money on this specific campaign, and then all these other ones were making up for it. So yeah, it wasn't too big of a deal. You're going to see natural fluctuation. There's a lot of fluctuation that happens on TikTok, and that's why I like to get a lot of things out there. These are all campaigns. These are not ad groups. I like to have multiple campaigns. I like to spread it out a little bit. I like to have a lot of videos running underneath each. I like to have things a little bit diversified so that when that fluctuation happens, 5 things go up in cost, but hey, these 10 are still good, and your 5 other ones have actually dropped. The cost is super cheap. So it's all just a wave. It's like a game of balance. It's like you're doing one of these, right? Whoa, that looks kind of cool in the camera. But it's just one. It probably didn't look very cool for you. I'm sorry. But anyways, there's a lot of things you can do on a daily basis to manage those ads. It's all the stuff that we talk about inside the TikTok ad blueprint. You have to be very, very particular with that. You have to have a strategy. Otherwise, you're literally just throwing money at the wall, seeing what sticks. And while that's actually not a bad strategy for TikTok, probably won't get you very far. So TikTok likes broad audiences. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the audience and then the mindset that I had promised you at the beginning of this video. Okay, you can still point them in the right direction. So just like up here when we gave really small audiences, I don't want to say you cannot, you should not target these small audiences. It's not a good idea because it's going to be way too small, and here's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to launch a $20 a day ad. It's going to get no sales on the first day, 1 sale on the next day, 1 sale on the next day, then no sale on the 4th day. Some random stuff like that. It's going to be like 1, 2 sales. It's not going to be profitable, but it's going to probably gotten a couple sales, but it will never be consistent. It'll never get you a consistent amount for 2 reasons. Number 1, your budget was too low. Number 2, the audience size was too small. So you're going to have to expand that interest. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But they like the broad audiences, and by setting that smaller one and then expanding it, you're helping point them in the right direction. So I've noticed it's a bit more effective than just letting it run free, just like with no targeting. A lot of people talk about that. No targeting, great scaling strategy. I don't recommend it in the beginning. There's just nothing to point that audience at, and when you run into an average size of 130 million people, which is what most people are doing on TikTok, I just don't like it. It doesn't make the most sense to me. So something like this is what happens when you take a super small interest and click the expand interest box or expand audience. 130 million instantly. By the way, this is running to the US and Canada only. You can go broader than that if you want. There's more options. If you have an agency TikTok account, which a lot of you guys probably don't, I don't even have them on multiple of my stuff. I do on one brand that I needed it on. But it's just one of those things where if you do have an agency account, you actually have access to more targeting options. So it also depends on where your ad account is hosted. That can change things a little bit. Now, over here, these are the different targeting segments. We're going to talk about that. But this right here is taking the recommended. Okay, so these up here are what I like to call the recommended audience. So I'll just hit select all, even though these have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the product, but it's another option of targeting. It's just another thing that I notice works really well on TikTok. We break down this strategy a little bit more about sizing, how to mix them in, how to integrate new duplicates, and stuff like that inside of the TikTok course. But this is a good audience group as well, even though it has nothing to do with what you're targeting. So very, very large audiences work well. TikTok always appreciates that. Now here's the different segment options for targeting. I wanted to talk about this real quick because you're going to see these 4 options, not including custom audiences. That'll be above all these targeting options where you can put in a lookalike audience or retargeting, whatever it is. So if you've ever run Facebook ads, you have your typical interest. That is up here on the top. But they also have video interactions, creator interactions, hashtag interactions. Bottom to top, let's go up. Trash, second most trash, third most trash, the best. That's how I view it. Literally, from top to bottom, it goes best to worst. That's literally how I think about it. I do mix some of these other things. I really stay away from hashtags. Now, I'm all for trying. Go ahead and test it if your stuff is working. If you're making $3,000 a day, there's consistent profit, go launch it. The odds of it not getting a single sale is very low, but go find out for yourself. I'm all about testing. But typically, I'm playing around in the interests first, and that is where I'm starting. I'm expanding those interests. I want very big, broad audiences. Those are working the best. So that's kind of the TikTok framework. That's exactly how I'm testing things, what I'm doing with the audience size, what I'm doing every single day in terms of the framework. And by the way, my goal this year, I want to spend at least $5 million on TikTok ads. I spent a little over $1 million last year. The goal is 5 this year. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't be able to scale past that. It just, I've noticed with that fluctuation on TikTok that I talked about, it gets a little difficult because when I start to ramp things up, performance can fluctuate. So I'm just trying to learn and combat that when I'm crossing a $1 million a month level in sales. Now, I've helped a coaching student manage an ad account that was doing about $2.5 million a month. So he was spending a really good consistent amount, probably $30,000, $35,000 per day. I was walking him through that. I was the one doing most of the work, but it was really consistent. It was pretty good. There wasn't a lot of fluctuation. So I guess that's where it comes down to the product. His product was really cool. It was absolutely crushing it. It was brand new to the market. So there's that fluctuation as well as the actual product. So as promised, the last point, the framework for your mind. This might sound cliche. I know 20 people are probably going to click off just right now from what I said, but trust me, pay attention. This makes like a huge difference inside your business, what you're thinking about, especially in the e-commerce space. Because trust me, you're going to get crushed at some point. So this is really, really important. And by the way, if you want an example of getting crushed and different problems that happen, go watch a couple videos ago. I talked about a lawsuit that I'm in for a little over $2 million for a little over 2 years now with a company relating to one of my e-commerce stores. Absolutely ridiculous situation. Let's get back into this. Number 1, it costs money to make money. I don't know why people think that it doesn't. And while technically you could just start your little $30 a month Shopify plan and blow your product up organically on TikTok, probably not the best route, and it's still going to cost money. Now, it doesn't have to be a lot, but you need to spend some money. Save up if you need to. That's totally normal. It took me a couple months to save up when I was first starting. Tried to get $5,000. I lost all that, saved up again, lost all that, saved up again, and then it started to work. So it's like this process of needing, for me, it was about $10,000 before I kind of figured it out and had bought a couple courses and learned some very basic strategies, but it pointed me in the right direction. That's number 1, cost money to make money. Number 2, no emotional attachment to any part of your business. I don't know why people continue to make this mistake while you are in the testing phase. Go ahead, treat your business as a baby and love it once it's working. But when you're testing new products to the market, you cannot be attached to the individual products, because when you have to cut it, when the data says turn it off, you're not going to be able to as easily. You're going to let it run longer. It's not going to be as effective, and ultimately you're going to spend more money, which contradicts, or which kind of flows in with point number 1, but it contradicts being efficient. Okay, so that will not serve you, having that emotional attachment to each individual thing while you're testing. Number 3, check your ego at the door. Oh my gosh, it's so hard for me to be friends with almost anybody inside the e-commerce space. I literally despise most of them for a very simple reason. Almost none of them can put their ego aside, and even some of the ones who can, most people never continue to learn. They don't build off their education. First of all, 99% of the people who teach in this space don't do e-commerce, and I get it. They have a couple stores that have popped off in the past. They know the basic framework of ads. They're totally qualified to sell you something for a couple $100, right? But they're not actually in the business. They're not in the trenches. They don't do that. They have general oversight. And so, for me, and this is not saying I'm better than anybody else at all, and most of the money I spend learning actually is not inside the e-commerce space. It's more general psychology, sales, marketing, a lot of real estate. But I spend about $100,000 per year on my education. When I'm writing my goals for the year, this year for 2022, the number was spend $100,000 on my education. That was a goal. I have to spend that much. And I'm at about $35,000 for this year. So I'm right on pace. Most people can't get over this mental barrier. And to be honest, I struggled with this for 2.5 to 3 years once I was making money. So I was doing this. I was applying this when I wasn't making money, because you have to. Go go through courses. It's gonna speed up the timeline. Like, I hated having no money, so I wanted to get out of it as quick as possible. And so as soon as I did, and I was making really good money, and it started, 20,000 a month, 40,000, 60,000, 70,000, and it was really consistent for years, it was so rare. I would go through the occasional course, I would pay the occasional person for consulting, but it was super rare, and I that was a huge mistake. It costed me money by not spending money. That's the mental switch. It costed me money by not spending money. For an example, I just paid about $10,000 to spend a couple days with a group of guys who were real estate investors. Some of them $500 million portfolios, 30,000 storage units, 100 mobile home parks, all sorts of different stuff. People are like, oh my gosh, so why would you have to pay for your friends? Why would you have to do this and that? Well, I have now access to millions of dollars that I can raise for the future projects that we're going to have coming up towards the end of the year just because of that. So instantly worth it. I got my value on the first night. So it was just one of those things where, you have to it's not a direct trackable ROI in the beginning like advertising is. And that's difficult as an advertiser. If I spend $6,000, I know I'm making at least 12. That's an average for me. I know that that's happening. It's more difficult on the education side of things, on bigger picture stuff where you can't track it, but you need to do that. And it's a huge mental barrier. And I have a very small group of friends, but all of them really, really stick to this. And I really love that. So, trying to learn, always learning. I'm the same in the e-commerce space. Yesterday I was searching deep through forums, looking for TikTok ad scaling strategies for CBOs. Just trying to pick up on something because I couldn't find a single YouTube video on it because, I'm no master with CBOs on TikTok. I haven't really gone deep into CBOs specifically, but there's not any good information out there. I bought 2 courses from e-commerce people that claim to be really good at TikTok. Total dog shit on CBOs and stuff, like some general information, but it's so I'm trying to learn that and there's no resource for it. So I have to go find it. I have to spend the money to figure it out, and then I'm the one to create the resource. That's how it's typically been. So I just try to put this framework into my mind. I've been trying to do it and I still need to do it better, but it's just something that I'm looking to do more of. So number one, again, it costs money to make money, always having that understanding. That kind of flows here into checking your ego at the door and being willing to spend money and be a student. Also, no emotional attachment to any part of the business. I just keep this plain and simple. That's why one of my friends, when he heard about the hack that we had on the TikTok ad account where somebody spent, it was about $42,500. He was asking me, he's like, Hayden, every single time that I talk to you and you're having some crazy problem, and you have a lot of them. He's like, dude, I've never met anybody who goes through as much random crazy stuff as you. He says, you're always so calm and so composed and just like it doesn't affect you. And I was like, well, it happened. So what's the solution? And I literally listed my 5 solutions that I could possibly come up with that I had already outlined. And so it's you just got to move forward. And a lot of people have an emotional reaction to something that happens, and while that's normal and I can feel that, and my stomach dropped for a second when I saw that, I was like, is this a mistake? What's going on? And then you got to try to figure it out and first stop the bleeding, figure out who's in, how they're in, what they're spending money on, get that turned off, and then work on the solutions. It's just one of those things where you can kind of, it just, the more situations you get put in, the better you can become at that. It's just repetition like anything else. So that is the framework here for TikTok. I really hope you enjoyed this video. My ads just on this one brand that is scaling really nicely, probably do about $500,000 next month. I will keep you updated on this store. Those couple things that I gave you here in this video, I really hope you enjoyed them with the product. I just try to be open and honest. This slideshow right here is equivalent to most courses. I'm just being 100% upfront and honest with you. They might go a little bit deeper into some basics on setting up your ad account and linking your pixel, but all that stuff you can find for free anyways through the TikTok Help Center. So whatever, it is what it is. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like. Please show some love to Viral Ecom Ads if you are looking to get any TikTok ads at all, or Facebook ads if you're running them. They make really good ad creatives. You can either send your product to their warehouse, or they can just do it for you digitally based on a picture and make animations. Depends on what you want, but if you're running TikTok ads, you want to go with their TikTok UGC split testing package. Again, a coupon code and a link for that is linked below. So with that being said, also check out our e-commerce programs. We have a full one performance dropshipping, talks more about the business model, a framework, setting up stores, product research, all the suppliers, everything like that, and Facebook ads. And then we have the TikTok ad program, exclusive, brand new, up to date, a lot of new stuff going in there as well. I've been getting a ton of feedback from the test group that we let in. We let in about 40 people, and they've been given a ton of feedback. We have one guest coming in there who's an expert in their field, and I also have probably 6 new videos already filmed and about a dozen more that I want to add in. So you'll be seeing a lot of new stuff dropped in there. Early bird access gets access to every single piece of content we ever make, any changes, all resources. You get a ton of stuff. So really hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to enter the giveaway. Just drop a like, subscribe, and comment. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.